birthday in advance to you.
Thank you, dear bro.
We're not talking about your doubting bits, but happy birthday in advance to you. Monday is your birthday.
Yes.
Yeah. You're already celebrating because you're looking all
victorious.
Yeah.
And like I was telling you, the month of August is a month for heroes.
Heroes.
Heroes month. So.
Just say yeah, win. Other months
because we have the big sis. We have the founders day in
shoes.
the month of, we have the founders day in the month of August.
Yeah, if you check the Red Cross, I mean, you can talk about a lot of things.
Yeah.
You understand? So I'm also use of this opportunity to wish all August born happy birthday.
Please, the new title is Hero Apostle Thomas Kusi-Appiah. Yeah, August borns are all heroes. So yeah.
So let me also invite you on the 8th.
We don't need invitation.
Yes, so we are all meeting.
I don't need
Christian Integrity. From that's where we are having the party. From 5 p.m. So after work, just pass there.
Why announcement? You open your bounce idea because in Kofo Bebano.
No, don't worry.
Hey, casual.
Don't worry. Like
okay,
money not a problem.
I'll bring along 5 people. My car can take extra 4, right?
I'm chef front. Wow.
Okay, it's a better start.
And those who will not be able to come chat, maybe HSTV will show you live.
So they can do online enjoyment.
Zoom meeting.
Virtual, yes.
All right.
WhatsApp the food to them.
Awesome. All right. So that said, let's get into the conversation. Yeah. Raising children as parents. We once made a clinical conversation or point that children are not what we do, is what God gives us as a gift. So we are, or the parents are rather custodians, just custodians of the kids. Should that be that, or by the same say, so I can decide to be a runaway father, a runaway mother? Is that the reason why people do such things? Or ordinarily, you hold brief for such parents because they don't have what it takes to be the father or the mother or the parents to the children.
All right, so dear God, let me say a very good morning to cherished viewers of HSTV. And let me say from where you started from, if as parents we've understood that point, I tell you, most of us don't even have issues with parenting. If you just quoted Psalm 127 verse 3, that
should I take my Bible again?
Oh, you can read it. That children are heritage from the Lord. Yeah, children are heritage from the Lord. And you see, I have a personal even testimony to that. I remember when my wife was pregnant to our first daughter, and I got this revelation. I started praying certain prayers. The Lord, if even as human beings, I don't think I will be that irresponsible to bring my child to you without adding things that you need to take care of that child. So when I brought that revelation, my prayer point was simple. God, if children are from you, and you bring this child to me, then whatever I need to take care of this child, whatever thing I'm going through, whatever environment I live, wherever I am, if it's not conducive for this child, Lord, change my setting everything before this child comes. And I tell you,
that brings me to the question: should you make plans before you have kids?
Yeah. So let me end. I have a lot of testimony to that. Okay. Just by giving birth to my first daughter, a lot of things changed in my life. So I'm saying, from where you are, if you are going to go by that, then I can tell you, anybody who have captured this, what call it, and have this understanding will not have issues with child, because eventually God will grant you everything you need. Another thing too is that then you also now position yourself that I must raise this child, you understand, to be like God. There are two ways. God will bless you while the child is coming, and you also position yourself to now train this child to be like God, to be in the image and likeness of God. If that's the case, then you don't have to run away. As you probably you position yourself, because it's my duty that when God comes, He will find Himself in this child. I read that too. So that if you are going by that, I think parenting will even be a problem. But it's unfortunate we don't have this. Many another parent thinks that men are not bad than I am. I heard that we have to train, and some of us don't even understand. We have no idea how children even develop. Okay. You understand? So we have psychological element that you need to know. But you see, let me also quickly say this. One thing, our viewers should know is that when it comes to behavior, building characters, training children, there are two major things that impact children: nature and nurture. Their characters or their behavior that the child came out with. That's what our forefathers or our great, grandparents say, our cross so near or so say. That is natural tendencies.
Okay.
We come with some kind of natural things.
Okay.
That's why you may not even have the opportunity to stay with your parent, but someone can look at you, you look just like your dad, you speak like your dad, you do this. That is nature. Then we have the nurture. The nurture is the environment. So everything that this child will be exposed to is going to impact on this child.
Okay.
That's why parenting is so difficult. Because now the point is this, I let me say this quickly. That's what I tell parents. No individual have the capacity to train a child. Not even say no parent, like they say the father, the mother, have the capacity to train children. So that's why sometimes I'm so much I feel so sorry for how we are now, the kind of thing we've put together now that the teachers cannot even help, the teacher cannot even discipline a child. We've tried to limit people around thinking we can train. No, you've made a big mistake. If you are watching me get it right, only who can pay intimate about Davis. Why? Because children learn more about 80% of what they interacted and just 20% of what they hear in their ears. So ask us how many hours do even your child spend with you? Now that we are so busy, they look at it. We send them to school. Some even leave as early as 6. Some even go before 6.
Oh, by 5 a.m. I'm driving up. So people are standing, kids are standing by the roadside.
Now this child will come back home around 5 or whatever. Now some of the parents will come home around 8, 9, and these kids are asleep. So how many hours are you even going to have to interact? Now the reason I said no couple or no parent have the capacity to train their children is that I stated it here before, that as a human being, you operate on 3 levels. You are a spiritual being. You have a mind, so you are a psychological being. And you live in an environment, you live in a physical body, interacting, so you are a sociological being. And each level, you are being impacted as a person. So the same way your child will be impacted spiritually, psychologically, sociologically. So from the things they are watching on TV, like now social media, all kinds of things are there. The things they are hearing from their friends, the church, the environment, is all impacting on this child. And every minute they are building a behavior in them. You understand? And see, the unfortunate thing is that whenever a child captures a behavior and you are not around to correct it, that is it.
Forever.
You just practice 1, 2, it becomes a habit, and that's it. You can't change it. That's why today many children are living double lifestyle. I had a conversation with not even a conversation, it was a conversation that we can do something that happened just that Eastern region. There's a, I don't want to name the school. A pastor's son was demonized that he was fond of doing 1 or 2 things. And the father was so shocked, my son cannot be demonized. I know how I've trained my son. Only for him to go there, and he had a shock of himself. The guy was an avid smoker. And he has a gang. So they were caught smoking. And because of that, this guy, meanwhile, when this guy comes home, he's the one who plays the drum. He's like a church boy.
Let's take a step backwards. You've mentioned a lot of things, you've explained a lot of things, but I want to understand who exactly then is a parent. What skills should I have acquired before, I bring a child into the world?
All right, so now when we talk of parenting, parenting simply means impacting or building up. You understand? So that's why last week we were here,
yes.
And I told the role that we need to play as people. That every woman needs to play 3 roles. You must be a mother. That motherhood is where your parenting is built in. You understand? And I've also indicated as a mother, you're not a mother to only your children. You're a mother to say, God knew all this and that alone. An individual, I think we can't build our children alone. So he imparted us with this and understand so that we can also help in training children. So you must be a mother. And every man must be a father. You must be what? A husband and what? A pastor. A woman must be a mother, a prophetess, and a wife. So that motherhood and that fatherhood is something God has built in us. It's a leadership capacity that he built in us so that we can now affect people around us. You understand? But you see, whenever you get to that, we get to this level, you should know. I mean, after I mentioned it, if you're a father, you should know that the literal meaning of a father is Abba. And the Abba means source. So you should understand that things are coming from you. So anybody who comes, whether that person is my child or not my child, it's my duty to promote that person, to provide for that person, and to protect. These are the elements I must exhibit as a father. So I don't need to give birth to be a parent. You can be a parent to people who are not even your biological and children. This is where we are missing, like I said. That's what I say, when we now go to that side, we are stopping people. There are some parents who don't even allow people to even say anything to their child. And I can tell you on authority, I'm not here to prophesy, I'm not here to care, but the point is this: knowing the kind of thing that impact our children, the moment you begin to limit people from helping you, you've already destroyed your child. You understand? So we must understand this. Then one thing we should also know, as we mentioned, our personalities. The personality also determines the kind of parenting style. You see, there's a general parenting style that we all need to know. But there are some people who don't know. They don't even know why they shout on their children. They don't know why they beat their children. Because it's in us. It's embedded in us through our temperament and the rest. So we have 4 types of parenting styles. And depending on the one you're exhibiting, it has its own advantages and disadvantages. You see, before we can group parenting style, we look at 2 major things. We look at the what we call demandingness. What as a parent you demand from your child. There are some parents who demand high respect, high what do you call it? The word is are you getting it? Then you have some sort of responsiveness, how you also respond to your child. When a child wants to talk to you, do you pay attention? Do you have the heart to allow your child to speak to you freely? When the child needs something, how do you respond? So now, based on these 2 elements, we have 4 types of parenting. The number 1 is what we call the authoritative parenting. So there are some, and most of them are who exhibit that. They have high responsiveness. In fact, they wouldn't allow you to go against their rules. They set rules and make sure you follow. You go against it, they'll punish you. They expect you to follow their instructions.
Or like a military rule.
Yes.
Before complaint.
So that's very high. Then they also have high responsiveness. As much as he demands so much respect and obedience from you, they also respect. They can sit their child down or their children down and they talk to them and say, they'll be your colleagues. In fact, sometimes some of them, before they even punish, they will call you and tell you, you did ABCD. What do you say about that? They will even want to hear. Yes, they will even want to hear why you did what you did. And when you are found culpable, then they will make sure you are punished. So they can even be smiling or chatting, joking with you. In a moment, you go against a rule, you'll be punished, and you come back. So they can move at any time. So that's authoritative. The 2 are all high: demandingness and responsiveness. Then we have another group called authoritarian. The first one is authoritative. So high demandingness, high responsiveness. The second one is authoritarian parenting. With them, they have high demandingness, and most of the time, the Malachi is with that. Most of the time, in fact, they can't imagine or even think of a child going against their rules. And automatically because they are both poor, but they have low responsiveness. They are the ones that when a child does something, or a child asks something, Mommy, cannot go? Yes, no. Why? Because I say so. To them, they don't see why I should explain myself to you. You are my child. Your job is to obey me as a parent. So to them, their responsibility is so low that they don't see why I should now tell you why I'm doing what I'm doing. But the authoritative would let you know the reason why I did ABCD is because of this and that and that. You understand? So if you're a parent,
mention the authoritative, most of them are choleric. The authoritarian,
most of them melancholic.
Melancholic.
Yes. Right. You see, with them, on our way, you don't want to be about poor. Sometimes if they will even punish you before. Later get to know say I now you play be then who's all cancer and they know almost sorry papa. You get to it's high. The demandingness is so high. They can't imagine you disobeying them. This and they are so strict on their children. You see, the problem with them is that they think from their dimension. You know, they are perfectionistic. They have a way they want to bring their children. They have a way, forgetting that these children may also have different temperaments. That's why. So most of them, they have the shot of their life. Why? Because you assume your child is now. When the child is around you, he lives a certain. The moment he's out of your sight, it's a different thing. You understand that? And sometimes your children don't even have the courage to come to them and talk to them. So before you even tell ABC, why did you do this? They always, like I said, go to them. They can't imagine you doing ABCD. For this, the way I'm bringing up, you should follow myself. Forgetting this child has his own temperament or her temperament. So most of the time, the authoritarians have their own. So then the next one is what we call the the neglectful ones. They are most of them the choleric. The phlegmatic. Yes, they neglect. Here to them, the demandingness is low, responsiveness is also low. He doesn't set any rules for you, like in leadership. Yes, live your life. Yes, do whatever you like. Are you getting it? Yeah. So they don't care what you're going through. But they are not crazy. Phlegmatic by nature they have low risk. They don't want to do. They have low ambition. They are not aspiring to do anything. Yeah. They're like people smoke with life. They can wear dresses. They can live in their parents' house and marry you, the woman, and bring you there. So to them, as a child, no, it's normal life. Whatever you are going through is normal. To them, things are normal for them. Yeah. To them, it's not like you see like the choleric and the melancholic. They demand respect. Yes. So whatever you say, it matters to them. Today, they don't care. They are normal people. They don't even have the energy to fight their own kids. So if you marry such a man or such a woman, he or she doesn't care what the child is doing. Yeah. And I won't say about no. So their parents like that, they don't care what you're doing. When you need it, or the motivation is so low, they don't care. That's how they are living their life, and that's how they also live with their children. You understand that? They have the permissive, and the permissive, most of the time they are the soundings, the permissive parenting. They have low responsiveness, low demandingness and high responsiveness. Okay. They set their own rules. If you don't do this, I'll do the ABCD. But even the child now committed, they don't have the energy to even punish them or meanwhile whatever the child needs. You see, there are those people who feel like they can't say no to their children. Okay. Yes, when you ask anything, they want that their kids to be happy. They want to help you. So to them, it's like those are the ones normally they stop people or they shut the doors of other people coming in to even support in terms of maybe a prayer yard, stop it. This no. You can't say this to my child.
The phlegmatic seems to be similar with the sanguine.
Yeah, that's for the phlegmatic. Everything is low.
Yeah.
So I'm not even saying anything to my child. Why you don't? So as for them, the two are all low.
Okay.
But with the sanguine, they are like the responsibility. They are always trying to help their children.
Okay.
But the demandingness, like I said, you see, demanding is where as a parent you tell your child, I'm demanding this kind of obedience from you. So don't do before you take anything from the house. Take permission. Before you do anything, maybe tell me, or before you go out, tell me. The child can go out without telling me, Kwame, where did you do the one I went to? Instead of them to go by the rules and say, before you did this, I want to punish you. They don't care.
Can we now conclude that the phlegmatic parents are those who abandon their kids?
Well, you see, with the kind of thing, like I said, you can't push it because it can happen at all levels.
Okay.
Or like I just mentioned that we are as a human being. So this is when everything, other economics comes to tell you all other things were being equal. Don't forget, you may be a choleric, but your environment can also make certain impact. Yeah. Okay. Perhaps you've suffered in the house of your father. Those are the ones that can be a choleric where you're expecting to have high demandingness and high responsiveness. But you tell me, because school, so here something has impacted him. Naturally, he should have been more responsible. They're more responsible. The choleric parent, whether he's a parent or a father, they are the ones who can even drive, go and buy items, come and put it out. They always want the people around them to feel they will not give money. As for cholerics, they don't give money. Because whatever he's giving to you, have a reason. They are analytics. So when you are asking, I want ABC, maybe you have 1 million cities right here. That 1 million Ghana cedis, 10 billion. Ask him for just 100 and tell you what are you going to use it for. Meanwhile, he will ensure that he's paying your bills, fees. They are very responsible when it comes to these things. But a choleric parent can still be a very neglectful parent, depending on the environment, the impact. So you now look at it from his dimension, how he suffered, and feel like I'm doing better for you. You have no idea what we went through. Me, my daddy never paid my fees. When I was at this age, I was paying my own fees. My daddy never did this for me. So to me, he's now been measuring what he's doing against what he got from the dad, and feel he's doing better for you. Here, so you see clearly that he's not living in his temperament. He's rather living in his own nature, not the nature. So they can do. You can't assign that because a phlegmatic, they all have the tendency of neglecting or run away. But at least I would say the phlegmatic have a high tendency of neglect. But by nature, out of them, you understand.
What in your view usually are the maybe quote unquote sane reasons why such people abandon their kids, either mother or father?
You see, let me say this quickly, and this one most women don't know. Men by nature, if you go by this same.
I knew you were going to go there. He's the man who's been bashing all the men. Take a look at all his videos on social media. He's bashing the men strongly. So yeah, I'll give you the blank check.
I was telling somebody that I'm more feminist.
Rather,
you see, yeah, I'm a feminist. That's what I speak for.
Oh yeah, exactly.
But you see, you have the women who are extreme feminists, extremists, and those people go and check their life. They either suffered the house of their father or they've never had any man loving them. And if you 2 man for when you say woman speak against marriage and those things, that extreme way, go and check about either the papa and share and and papa and one or dog on any good relationship. And the man and would see the extremists for no. Later they'll come and marry and do like 2 weddings. You know some of them. Yes. Or back cassette days and no, you need to 2 weddings. So some of us, by the grace of our 4 daughters. So you should know, you should understand. Yeah, let me say this: men by nature, going by the same analogy of the nature. When you go back to the Garden of Eden, when God created the man, the first thing the man was exposed to was not family. It was work. So his upbringing was more about task. God brought everything he created and asked him to name it. This is the man we're talking about. You see, that's where I tell women, if you know the difference between a man and a woman, then you know we are not the same. So never try to understand your husband or your wife from your dimension. We are not the same. A man was introduced to task. So an average man is a work-oriented person, not a family-oriented person. That's the first we should know. A man will do everything to protect his job. That's how God created us. Well, that's the environment he placed us.
Yeah, so if we don't blame them when they
That's what I'm saying, because we don't know something. Okay. So watch it. Then a woman came in. The first thing the woman was introduced was a family.
It's a family.
So an average woman is a family oriented. That's a woman can do everything just to protect the family. A woman can even leave her job for the sake of the family. But a man will not leave her job for family. No. They don't have the energy for that. That's not the environment. We are different people. We are not the same. So you hear women like, and come here, and come here, no, so the person now, if the 2 of us are coming together, then you should know we are not operating at the same level. And 2, one thing the women should know is that men love their kids through the wife. This is where the challenge is.
Really?
Yes. So when you see any man who loves the kids more than you, the woman, know that you are just an entity that was used to give birth. And most of the cholerics have that challenge. They can love their children more than their wife. To the analytics, the reason I'm going to marry is that it will confirm that me money into the cholerics have that problem. But that is wrong. You understand? A man is supposed to love their kids through you, the mother. And because most women also know this, you understand? They try to place their children ahead of them. But in the whole scenario, your children are supposed to be behind you. So through your love, they also receive. They are recipients.
In effect, you are saying that any man who falls in love, like he shows so much love to the kids other than the woman, means that means the woman is a mere container on a warrior. On like,
and that marriage have about 70 risk of the
high risk of divorce.
Yes.
Fair enough. But you realize also that I've heard and read a couple of times that when women also give birth, the affection towards the kids becomes higher than that of men.
That's what I'm trying to say. That's what the mistake the women make, that so them to place their children behind them, they also put the children before them, thinking the man must. The moment you place your children ahead of you, you destroy your own marriage. Don't forget, let's look at literally. When the 2 of you met, if you are married, where was the kids?
Nowhere. They were in his scrutin.
And where would they be in about 30, 40 years' time?
Probably married, settled somewhere.
So the moment, any moment you bring, any of you bring your children in between you, you destroy the marriage. You've destroyed the marriage. And today, so I can look at you and tell you, your marriage will not last. You know why? You should have this understanding. My husband must love me, my kids through me. And that's why an average man, the moment the marriage don't work, now man we in here, the social man. That's how men were designed. We're designed to love our kids through our wives. That's all your bar. That's what I tell women. Oh, your bar. Now one show marriage. Now marriage do one show you. Who couldn't me show my mom.
So how am I supposed to go about this thing? I'm supposed to, as a woman, stop my husband from getting closer to the kids.
No. So the point is this: you see, God is so wise. So, let me explain this further. I was speaking about motherhood some time ago. And I told you, motherhood is not only to your kids. As a mother, well, I get right. Yeah. The first person that came into your life physically as your son, in terms of interaction, God, that breast that God gave you, you know virtually is for your children.
Thank you very much.
Who is the first person who started sucking?
Thank you very much. God bless you.
Who is the first person?
God bless you.
You see, according to Romans chapter 1, verse number 20, he said, through his creation, he revealed his invisible attributes. There are many things which are hidden from us, but he revealed it through his creation. If you're a woman, anytime your husband preaches your breast, God is just telling you, look at him, no matter how stubborn you think he is, he's just a son to you. Do you know why God will put that kind of feeling the man that breast and milk 70-year-old man, no for that year, no papa kita, no, who's a dear kind of woman. Nyame decided shame for a reason, just to teach you the woman. Are you getting it? This is also your son. So before your kids came in, Oba Penny will order that. So it will be so wrong. So Oba Penny will then only for say Oba will be too na there. So why do I worry?
This is the first time you're speaking for the men. Praise the Lord.
Let me just remind you that you can start sending your WhatsApp messages via the WhatsApp number at the right hand side of your screen. And soon we are going to open up a phone line. But for now, you can start sending your WhatsApp messages and then we'll get to delve into them as soon as possible.
But listen, let me end here. God knows by that tendency of a woman going to give birth, the process of giving birth, and also even you lactating, feeding your child, because of this hormones in the oxytocin and rest, it bonds you to your child. So there's that tendency you have that kind of high bonding for your children than your husband. That's why God did all this thing, just to always remind you that regardless of the feeling you have towards your children, you have a firstborn in your life. And as I first there are many women as soon as they start giving birth, their marriages are going. No, their marriages are going. They think say no. The moment when you don't sustain this intelligence to understand. Yes, my biological children have come, but I also have one adopted son. The teacher said I'm never time my So as much as I show that love to these kids, I must equally show love to this. I must manage so that I don't neglect, because you'll be a bad mother. Just like a woman who is not maybe giving, it's not able to give birth. Now for your adoption. Then maybe after 2-3 years later, wow. And now because you have your own child, what are you doing?
Stories happen.
You're very wicked. So if you are married, you should know God brought in a first adopted son. That's why I tell women, until you are a mother to your husband, your wife cannot prosper.
But we've also heard stories of men saying that they don't like it when women are acting like their mothers.
That would be an extreme situation, I think.
What is the meaning of acting like a mother?
It's like he's doing something, now would see and cry. I don't like it. I'm not my mother. They said, especially at the courtship stage.
If you understood the whole concept of motherhood is just say,
sometimes he's making a decision he can't, and then you come in and then it's like, you're not my mother. And we've heard things say, we've heard men say that they don't really like
now because like I said, you see, that quote confirm what I said. Okay. An average woman working on Ghana soil is a melancholic, and they tend to be authoritarian parenting. That they just tell you do this, and they don't even deem it fit to tell you their reasons. I feel like you should do this. That's the kind of thing that guy or that man was exposed to, and he felt like, Charlie, God help me. I want to leave this house. Your mother wants you to wear this, mommy. Why? Because I say so. Your mommy wants you to eat this food. Why? Because I say so. And that ego in men makes them feel so uncomfortable. Now he wants to run away from this woman. Then you also come, you position yourself like that mommy. So see, being motherhood is not this behavior. Hold on. Being a mother is not this kind of behavior. But unfortunately, that's the kind of behavior most mothers exhibit. Authoritarian parenting is wrong. As much as you have the right to demand from your son also have what? A right to demand from you. Because parenting, you see, like I said, we build the mind of children. That's why an average authoritarian build the heart of children, emotions. Just like preaching, I can be telling you this and that. You're so energized. I have to do. Then when you leave the church, no growth. You need to build the mind and give them understanding why this and this is wrong. Why you must do ABC, the benefit. That's how we train children. But authoritarian parent will not tell you why. He or she doesn't feel or see the need to tell you. So you are just doing it because my mommy says so. Now you also come into my life. I want to do this as maybe you're my wife. I want to do this now. I don't do it. Why?
Why isn't it because we know what's best for you?
Yeah, I'm saying, but you see, don't forget, I just mentioned it. You don't just say this without giving the explanation. It's wrong. Why do you think? Because I feel like you don't take this based on feelings. There should be understanding.
So to add just a little bit to what you're saying also, I think the manner in which you go about it also matters.
That's the one. You look like that mother who was controlling me, the left, right, center, without even giving the opportunity. You don't know why most children cannot even go to their mother to tell them A, B, C, D. Because the mother sees you doing this, she'll not even ask you why, then boom, above. Then later, she may even realize what you were doing rather than what auntie here. She can't even come back and say, baby, I'm sorry. Or can't even get the moral right to call and say, why did you? I'm worried, you're punishing. Some kids will not even talk again because you should have asked me why I was doing A, B, C, D. Now, when you get the reasons and it's wrong, you can even tell me A, B, C, D, but because of this, I'm going to punish you. You have the right to punish as a parent. I support it. But you don't just punish without any reason. It's wrong.
Okay, viewers, we are talking about, raising kids as parents. And we have Apostle from Kusi-Appiah in the studio talking about raising kids as parents. So you can start sending your thoughts, comments, your messages, your questions via the WhatsApp numbers at the right-hand side of your screen. Soon enough, we are going to open the phone line so you can call. But for now, start sending your messages at the right-hand side of the screen, and then we can get into that. Apostle, talking about the parenting style. So you said that, a child goes to the mother and then the mother sees what the child did, hears the child. Some parents can't communicate with their parents and all of that. So which of the parenting styles do you think parents should adopt now? Because it looks like when you don't communicate with the kids, you kind of instill fear in them. On the other side, when you are too lenient with them, they may disrespect you as well. It looks like some parents can't let go of their ego like that. So which of the parenting styles do you think we should adopt? So we have to blend all four.
Yeah, based on research, I think what we recommend most of the time is authoritative. That as much as you demand certain behavior, you should also equally also give to the child. At least let the child have the permission to also talk to you, tell you his or her side of the story. You understand? For instance, I send my child to go and buy this. I know from here to this place, it's let's say 5 minutes walk, and about 20 minutes, this child is still not back. 1 hour. As soon as the child comes, the tendency is that we slap the child. Later, now when you ask the child for the reason and you get to know, say that it was legitimate, something that happened. So even before I come, find out why did you keep along like this. Let the child come. Want me and be proper be and car. Are you getting it? So you have to now understand. As much as I demand that respect, I demand that obedience, I must equally give. You see, Bible. Listen, let me help you with a Bible reference. Your Bible is there. You see. Because
class.
All right, so let's read the book of Matthew. The book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse number 22. Very serious statement is there. And it's a general statement, though.
Matthew 5 what? 20. Yes.
20.
Chapter 5, verse 20. This is an admonition, the advice that Jesus Christ himself gave to us. Okay. And whenever I'm doing this, it's a general statement, but I want to link it to parenting here.
Okay. New King James Version, by the way. It says, for I say to you that unless your righteousness exceeds...
Matthew chapter 5, verse 22.
5:22 rather. Yes, okay, sorry. I was reading 20. Okay. It says, but I say to you that whoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment.
So your brother, you can put your children here. So the moment you are angry with your child without a cause, the cause him that knowing the reason. The question is, I've sent my child, he kept long, and I've separated and disciplined the child. But you get to find out why he kept long. You don't know the reason. And the Bible says you will be judged. So for instance, whenever I'm teaching, I teach normally I teach this under communication. Okay. You understand? See, when you look at our body, in school we are taught about the mind, the senses. You understand? But I don't mention it here before. The 5 senses. So from the sight, the body brings information through the eye. From touch, the body brings information through the skin. Hearing, the body brings information through the ear. Smell, the body brings information through the nose. And what again? Taste. The body puts something through the tongue. One thing our teacher didn't tell us is that all these things are interpreted in the mind. Yeah. So although you look with your eyes, you see with your mind. That's why can media go what parts and call Apostle my mind, my eyes were wide open. But because my mind was not on him, but my mind was thinking about something. That's why you can get your favorite food and you call and tell you somebody close to you is dead, and just that you lose taste, appetite. You can't even enjoy the food. Somebody can even be tapping you. Then you're just going to say, all this is interpreted here. The unfortunate for us, because the mindset, because they're interpreted here, it is it is interpreted based on what we call our perception. Now watch it. That's why I can bring you a very beautiful dress, red dress. Perhaps I bring 2 red dress. I'll give one to maybe Annie, and I'll give one to Stephanie. Annie was like, wow, Apostle, is this so beautiful? Wow, I love it. And Stephanie was, I don't just say why? No, look at it. This is a dress that somebody is so happy with. The same color, but somebody is not happy with it. The same thing. Why?
Perception too.
That's it. In her mind, she feels that Atade before there. It's not the dress which is telling her. It is already in there. So when it's a mindset, it is a phased mental attitude or disposition that predetermines a person's response to an interpretation of situation. So before that situation even happens, there's a way you're going to interpret it. That's why you need to understand that, look, your mindset is there, but you need to frequently shape it. You have put it in your mind. Before there. Somebody feels that is my favorite color. So she will love it, you will not like it. Where's the problem? The problem is not the dress. The problem is your interpretation about the dress. So as a person, you know, every behavior, most of the behavior you think is wrong, is good, is that, is subjective. It's because it depends on your mindset. Let me do that. Do you know that some places when you go and you're talking to an elderly man or an elderly person, they will tell you, look at my face. Don't you respect, look at my face. They want you to look straight. But another place, when you go there and you're talking to an elderly man or elderly person, they will tell you, you can't look straight because now watch it too. The same behavior in one society,
it's okay.
Another society is wrong. So you should know, reinterpret. So I normally when I look up the I say that understanding is a meaning you assign to a message. And you understand this, or you know that every situation or every message is neutral. Are you getting it? So when you get to this level, you should know that, look, then whatever happens, I must first and foremost get a better information to make a very sound judgment as a parent. So one, I don't just get angry, beat my children. According to the Bible, the moment you get angry without a cause, there's a punishment for you. You are just like a murderer. So for instance, the devil calls me that, look, Pastor, I want to come and visit you. Where are you? Oh, you mentioned a place. Look at the place, like 5 minutes to my house. Oh, then I'll wait. I was just about to leave, but I'll wait. Then about 2-3 hours, the devil doesn't come. Just when I was about to leave, no, and then he shows his face. An average person will say, okay, I'll get angry. So, but no, according to the scripture, he said, what? Relax. Find out from the devil what happened. But you said, oh, I was just close to your house, and I was attacked. So I was rushed to here. I just came, my phone, everything was taken. They just finished with me, and I quickly had to rush to your place. In this, we will get angry. But you see, I could have just started something. You understand? So the Bible is so key on some of these things that don't just get angry, whether with your child, with your husband, with anybody, without knowing the reason of or why the person did what he or she did. This is where we are having a lot of issues with people. There are some people that we are offended by their behavior. We've not even gathered the courage to go to them and say, look, why did you do this to us? And when you go deep, you understand what Jesus said in the book of Matthew chapter 18, verse 15 to tell you that even when your brother offends you, go to him. Go and find out. Just to confirm this, go and find out what the person did, what he did. So parenting, we should understand that no matter what we see or hear, like I said, based on the senses, we must still verify. And that's what most parents are not doing. They see the child doing something, now boom! They will not even, why are you doing this? That simple question. And when you understand, you can even bring it to your marriage. Why? When I see my wife or when you see your husband doing something, don't just get angry, but don't just get angry, but find out. So for instance, you know your husband closes at 5. And by 5, you are trying to find out from him whether he's coming so he can buy something. You call if his phone is off. And average one will think, hey, it's a question, you don't know. It's a question. According to the Bible, God says he will judge you. You have no right to get angry. You have no right to think negative. And when you even go deep, you understand. I was doing this teaching at a church. I was telling them that's why most women even end up praying for their husbands to cheat. You know why? Your husband may not be at a bad place, but you understand how the mind works. According to Ephesians chapter 3, verse 20, he said he's able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you think or ask. So prayer is not just about it's only about what you say, but what you also think. So anything you are thinking about, you are praying. And the Bible is telling you, God is able to do exceedingly. So when you're thinking that my husband is cheating, God is saying, you help me to do it better for you.
Also, really?
Is God not aiding and abetting?
No, you see, God is not
aiding and abetting.
That's what people don't know. That was it. When I meet Christians, I tell them, your life is a report card of your mind. This is what we've been taught. You can read the open to Ephesians chapter 3 verse 20. Another Christian just think that's about what does it in the name of Jesus, Lord, who told you? Prayer don't start with your mouth. Anything. You see, when you want to go into this teaching, to make people ask, let's give another time to teach about the law of the mind. If you know how this mind works, most of the things that happens in your life are things that you put in your mind. Your mind has, let me say this, your mind is the only agent in your body that has the power to communicate in the spiritual realm and the physical realm. And when you go deep, it's only, until last week I mentioned here, it's only the spiritual and physical. When you go deep, you know that even the sociological, psychological, medically, it's all about. That's why every sickness is in the mind. That's when you can't sleep. They will give you a medicine just to throw some chemicals in your brains so they can sleep. When somebody feels that I'm not feeling loud, the dopamine is not low. They need to take drugs. It draws them. Every issue, if you know how this mind works, you bring to take care of him. And that's why the people who have never stepped their feet at church, they don't know who God is, but they're prospering because they've been exposed to certain things about the mind. Now, are you there? Ephesians 3:20.
Yeah, we've already opened it. You have it.
It says, now unto him that is able to do exceedingly.
Now watch it. If you're a Christian and you're reading the sacred time, what do you mean? Like, he's talking about God. He said, look, if you don't know him, Paul is exposing God to you. That look, he is able. So he just sitting like this. He's able to do exceedingly abundantly.
Above all that
above
you
all.
may ask or think.
So above all that you may
Ask or think.
above all that you may
Ask or think.
So the moment you are there, anything you allow into your mind, he's telling about God, he's able to do exceedingly, abundantly, above all you ask or think.
Shouldn't it be positive things?
That's what you don't know about God. And I'm happy you've
because they say every perfect gift comes from above.
Go to Genesis chapter 11.
Genesis chapter 11. Whilst I do that, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, the phone lines are active, so you can give us a call at this moment. We're talking about raising kids as parents. If you have any questions to ask, hero apostle Kusi-Appiah, please do so and give us that call right now, and he will answer every other questions you may have with respect to raising kids.
Okay.
They said
Genesis chapter. That, you can do you have that?
Yeah.
Let me read a WhatsApp message quickly.
Okay.
Not a question contribution. Right. Says, good morning, Stephanie and Diego. Thanks for this wonderful topic. In fact, I wish this topic was treated on a holiday while most parents will be in the house to also learn something, because I have learned a lot this morning.
We'll play back.
I pray that you can repeat it. Thank you very much as well to Apostle, and God richly bless you for the wisdom that you are sharing with us this morning. Okay, so.
All right, you said Genesis chapter 11. Verse.
Now, when we went to read, let's start from verse number 3. You see, this is a topic that we don't want to teach about, the law of the mind. And God himself, Lord, this is a scripture for, so read from verse 3.
Okay.
It's a very popular scripture, which I believe you even taught during your Sundays, which you happen to be at Sunday school.
Genesis 11:3 says, yes. Then they said to one another, come, let us make bricks and bake them thoroughly. They had brick for the stone, and they had asphalt for mortar. And they said, come, let us build ourselves a city and a tower, whose top is in the heavens. Let us make a name for ourselves, lest we be scattered abroad over the face of the whole earth.
So now watch it. You know the story already. I don't want to go into it, but look at it. Verse 4 you just read. Who told them? The two main focus is that let's make a name for ourselves. Lest we will be scattered. Who told them they will be scattered? And this is at the heart. Brainstorming stage. They've not even made any breakthrough. They are saying that, look, we will have some of the bricks, we will burn some to be concrete, all this. They are just at the hot deliberation stage. They are thinking about the brainstorming, discussing it. Everything they mention here, look at it. Here, the devil is not mentioned here. We don't know anything about the devil here.
Yes.
We know about people on the face of the earth discussing this. Go to verse 5. Now, when we want to understand, we just mentioned God is able to do exceedingly above all that you think or
ask.
When you understand the mind works, anything that enters your mind, it goes into the spiritual realm and it goes into the physical realm. The difference is that the spiritual realm has no time. So within a second, so whenever you are thinking about something, you've already established it. It's done. It's the physical realm that it takes time, it goes through process. The spiritual, there's no time. So within a second. So now God was sitting in heaven, and he saw that a tower which the people have not even made any break. The tower is already in heaven. Check it, it's not bad.
Verse 5 says, but the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the sons of men had built.
Hold on. So when you don't understand Bible, you'll be like, where's the confusion? These people are not discussing. Meanwhile, when God now look at it from the spiritual realm, the thing is already established. The city is in heaven now. He has saw that something has entered heaven. So no, what is happening? So now God now is going to speak in two dimensions. He saw the city is in heaven. Now when you look at it, that they have built, which the things established. Meanwhile, even a brick has not been molded yet. Look at the next statement.
And the Lord said, indeed, the people are one, and they all have one language. And this is what they begin to do.
So now you see, when you check the two, you think there's confusion. One is saying it is built. Now here he's saying so they begin to do. There are two realms here. In the spiritual realm, it was established. But in the physical realm, they have now started the journey. Look at the next verse. That will now support your statement.
Now nothing that they propose to do will be withheld from them.
Okay.
Come, let us go down there, confuse their language.
Okay. So who was the person who brought confusion to this earth? Hold on. You said that my God is a righteous God. How can he should read positive things? You look at the Bible now. Who was the first one who brought confusion to this earth? I'm asking Stephanie, based on your statement. Oh, tell us, we are reading the Bible. Who was the first
God
person
who allowed Cain to kill him?
Don't worry. I'm asking you. An average Christian don't even know who God is. Hold on. An average, we are not done. An average Christian don't know who God is. That's why we are making a lot. He's telling you that look where I sit. I am able to do exceedingly abundantly above all that you think or ask. Simple. So whatever you are thinking about, whether positive or negative, I'm able to do exceedingly abundantly. The people just thought that if you don't do ABC, we will be started, right? Now check it, whether it happened. The same way they thought it happened to them. So if you not just say if you don't get because the law of the mind, if you don't know how the mind works, that's why our average Christian is a poor person.
Well, honestly, I think we should have a separate conversation about the power of the mind or the law of the mind.
Yes, but read it.
So the Lord scattered them.
Who scattered them?
The Lord.
Is it the devil here?
It's capital.
So Stephen, I believe you are now read out. The Lord
scattered them.
And did what?
Abroad from there.
Just as they spoke about. And as you said, we need to have a deep conversation on this. So when I'm doing leadership training and this thing, that's why I never Christian. When I do that, Christianity, then I'm a young machine. Because we don't understand what Christianity is. We think we are worshiping God. You don't even know God. They think we are worshiping. That's a person. You are worshiping an unknown God. Wouldn't say I'm not worshiping now. So your mind determines a lot of things about you. That's why another Christian is a purpose. It's not just about what you say. So what you say and what you think should correspond. The moment what you are saying is different. It's just like making a call. Not just when it is ringing, no, not why end the call. Your mind and your mouth must always correspond.
Well, all along, this is our Bible story. All I read was even book of Bible story that we saw. They had actually built the book of Bible story. You can go and check it. They've actually built it, and then we saw some wind be coming to scatter it. So there was no part where like it was just a mere thought that was scattered or confused.
That's why I tell people be careful what you are exposed to. And an average Christian in Ghana, especially in Ghana, is lazy. We are not like the Church of Berea, where we will also pick our Bible, as the Bible says, they will check to confirm that whatever I've been exposed, whatever I was taught, whether by whoever, is it the same? We are, in fact, that's why marriage today is a problem because we are teaching most of the things that we were taught, but we've not sat down to cross-check from the Bible. That's our problem. We are so lazy to study the Bible. You need to study the Bible.
Paul mentioned that in the people of
the Church of Berea, chapter.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
You need to learn, study the Bible for yourself. You understand? So what I've learned from some people across that, when you understand this, they should also know, and that's why even go back to most of how your children end up in life. It's also dependent on your mind and your words. Two things. These are two key things that shape the world. Your mind, your thinking. That's why Ghana will continue to be poor. Not because we are not. See, we have all the great prophets, apostles in Ghana. We will continue to be poor because we are not using our mind. We are not thinking. We are not planning. Olympics here. Ask yourself, what investment did you do? How many plans? Some people can say, okay, in about 10 years, like Australia, 20 years, we want to come and win. So 20 years means we need to now start from child, 1 year old. 1 year old, we start training them. So then 10 years, they will be 11 years. 15 years, they will be 16 years. We take them there to go and expose them to it. Planning. Ghana, we don't plan. So today, an average Ghanaian is what? A thief, including Pastor. Why? Because we are trying to reap where we've not sown. Every Ghanaian is expecting these people to win some of the Olympic medals. But ask yourself, what is our investment to them? We've not invested in them, yet you want to what? Benefit. We are thief. And from the president to another, we are thieves. We are not using the mind.
Yet you are calling for excellence from them.
Yes, we are not using the mind.
They don't win anything.
Those people, Australia, they're using the mind. They know it's about planning. This child don't just get up and start swimming. They don't just get up and start playing tennis. They don't just get up and be running. It's training. So look at check Ghana here, whether we even have a center that athletes can use to even train. In Ghana, we don't have some. Not even one who yet want to go to Olympics,
at the beach,
Commonwealth, and it's so unfortunate. So you see, when you understand, you see that our problem is leadership. Unfortunately, before you, and see, it's talking about parenting too. If you're not trained on this line, so before let me let me also say this: that if you want to be a parent, or if you want to be considered as a good parent, one thing you should know: the Bible in the book of Proverbs chapter 7 verse 20 to tell you, train up a child in the way he should. Or 20 verses, sorry, train up a child in the way. Now, the simple question I tell people.
She has a question to that quotation.
Yes.
There's another verse to it that she was talking to me
about parenting. It looks like that's the only commandment in the Bible with the promise that children should obey their parents.
No, that's not the only commandment. There are a lot of scriptures.
With a promise.
Yes.
That one, it's at that the verse says with a promise. The only commandment with the promise.
Obey your parents in the Lord that you may live long, this and this. And then, but it comes down to say that parents should not provoke their children and put them to wrath.
Yes.
And I want to understand that aspect. So
no, that with the promise means this is the one he has given you a clear
promise.
That look, see, I was just doing
it's a guarantee thing.
I was just doing this teaching yesterday that there are principles. You understand? That's why every Christian, you can be a very good Christian, for you are so close to God, but your finances can be down. Your marital issues can be poor. The reason is that they are keys to open each one. Okay. So in life, I tell people, if you want to grow old and if you want to prosper, parenting, obeying your parent is one of the keys. Mm-hmm. That's what it tells us with a promise. That look, there's a guarantee that whenever you want to see that somebody has good life or growing old, then check his relation with him and him and his parents. So if you don't honor your parents and you don't obey them, you have the high risk of losing two things: growing old and it being well with you. That's why it's with a promise. The promise that this is a guarantee I'm going to give. But you see, the relationship between you and your parent training their children, there are a lot of scriptures, even right from the Old Testament, telling them how to even allow them to make sure that the word, the Lord that is giving to them, it's embedded in them, put them on their heart, in their mind, so to train their heart, their minds, so both the emotions and their knowledge, their reasoning.
Let me catch you and then pick this call. Good luck from Spring Texas on the phone now. Good luck. Good morning.
Good morning. My name is Good Luck.
Good luck. Yes. Please go ahead with the submission.
I really like what the gentleman is saying. I really agree with him very, very, very well. Like, he's full of wisdom this morning. Yeah. And these are some of the people, like, we need them to speak truth into power. Be it NDC, be it MPP, regardless who you are. These are some of the people we want in Ghana. You understand?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like whatever he's saying. And I say thumbs up and big ups to him. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Good luck, and good luck to you too for the weekend. Thanks for calling. All right, Rev. Sorry, we had to catch you when you're talking about. At this moment, I want to push you. Though we all know that you always go bashing the men, the fathers, and all.
I don't bash. You finish it. I don't bash because
that's okay. Because of the principle you understand.
No, not the principle. The principle is leadership.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Leadership. That's why.
Fair enough.
This Milo was sacked.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Was he on the field playing?
No.
You should understand. So were we wicked towards him?
No.
But it's about, you are the coach. You have the right to select the right players and ensure they deliver. It's about leadership. So the same thing about you, the man. You have the right to select a wife and give birth to children that you can mold them.
Apostle, I've seen many people do the very best they can for their kids, yet they don't turn around to be good.
Diego, we'll come back to
before you answer.
I like that point. I like that. So make sure you remember that point.
I have Patience from Afienya on the line. Hello, good morning, Patience. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Patience. Please go ahead.
And please, good morning to you once again.
Morning.
And please, I want to say something. I really appreciate what Apostle is saying. But there is this situation in Ghana here now, and I know it's somewhere else. Parents don't get the opportunity to train their children well due to our work schedules. you end up going for nannies and house helps to train your children for you. So at the end of the day, you get different children from the ones you give birth to. Because let's say 3 people are training those children. Nanny is training the children, daddy is training the children, mommy is training the children. What are the children learning? And who are they learning from? And most often, they spend most time with the nannies. So they end up learning whatever nanny has taught them. What becomes of those children? And what do we do? What advice can Apostle give to us? Thank you.
Thank you very much to you, Patience.
I know the voice. So Patience, she is a deaconess at Christian Praise International Church, the late Anoye Boys Church. So CPIC, good morning to you.
All right, awesome. So
what advice?
So there are 2 things here. The first, I will come to the advice, but let's also state here that most parents do their best. Their children don't end up well. Let's come back to the initial statement I made. Every human being operates on 3 levels. So they're best at 1 level. We assume that just paying their fees, taking care of them, putting them in good schools, is just at that 1 level, sociological. And every parent don't invest spiritually into the life of their children, forgetting that it's a spiritual realm that impacts the physical realm. That's another teaching altogether. Do you even know the altars in your own homes? Their parents, today, I can tell, just about a week ago, I met a lady, she was telling her problem in her marriage. Just when the only just said to me is from the mother's side. So I told her, I said, what is the relationship between you, your mother and the dad? For almost 20, 30 years. Papa and this girl is just 2 years in her marriage. She's suffering the same thing. So watch it. To her, the mother felt it was personal. It's an altar. I need to get up, fight, and break this altar. If not, right, she's not even there though. The daughter is suffering it. They only just told me, no, this is something. So they little, how can they even talk about this? I say, yes. So they say your mother was so selfish because she looked at it from her dimension for that. Nikuna open it on when Tini and I saw and bomb payam so the two what you're looking at saying maybe the solution is so be but rather stand on your feet and break it. If not, your children will be worse off. Because it's an altar that will run through. You can't change it just by mouth or just by hopes. You must work at it. So spiritually, an average parent is not even investing in the spiritual life of their kids. So we are, like I said, we are all like today. That's why an average parent is so into work. Because I want to give my children the best of education. It's good, but like I said, just under 1 level, sociological, psychologically. How are you even imparting the minds? An average woman don't even know I must be a wife now. Not when I get married, we've done this education here, that my body is even for me, it's for my husband. So no matter how a man loves me or pretend to love me, he has no right over my body but my husband. So until I marry, no man has the right to see my nakedness. And no pervert you when you be a So you see, so training and out from, we've reduced training to only the sociological level. Getting a shelter, getting food, getting good education. Please, it's just 1 level. Because spiritually he is dead. Psychologically he is dead. So don't just reduce parenting to only sociological level. And the same way to come back to the question my sister asked. There's something. When you reduce parenting to sociological level, that's so you just leave your children to only your nannies and whatever. You should understand, I must train the spiritual realm of my son or daughter. I must train the psychological and also the sociological. So these people are coming in. Therefore, I should find out how well, what they are standing in spiritually. Imagine what will happen to your children. So even the people you are bringing in, how well have you prayed about them? How well do you even know them spiritually? So you see, it's not just enough to get nannies and they will destroy your children. Not because, but because we've taken things for granted. Always remember, every human being operates on 3 levels: spiritually, psychologically, sociologically. So we are training the ethic. Who told you about say? You see, these are all at 1 level, sociological. But with the spiritual and psychological, we are not doing good. But another parent don't even know the temperament of his state. He don't only say me, but you're sounding. So that's why we even end up comparing them. Who don't pay the papa? You're not like this. No, maybe she's a melancholic. Open the home. On Cody Pumpter. I want to say sister way. No. So what you know what you're doing? You're trying to change her. But you see, no matter how personalities don't change. That's what we should know. It's a mindset, the nature that changes. But your nature don't change. You die with it. That's why you can be a pastor and be a choleric. One thing, tell me just why they must shatter on the wife. It's your nature. Until you're exposed to yourself, until you meet somebody who can tell you, these are your strengths, these are your weakness. No, when you're bad, And another choleric don't like to apologize. For my is right. Are you getting it? Yeah. But when you're exposed to this, you see, I tell people every behavior is good as long as you are the one doing it. But when you are exhibiting towards somebody, the person will now interpret it. So you expose the person to their strength and weakness. As long as you do ABCD, you are going to affect people negatively. For instance, if your wife is a melancholic, now shato nipemua, what breaking down, she'll feel embarrassed. And she can't even be self-confident. A lot. So you try to talk to him. He's not going to change. From time to time, now he's supposed to come. Oh, I'm sorry. The rate at which you come and say I'm sorry, who's the name? First, we can get angry. I don't care. But now he's exposed to himself, so he can come back and say, I'm sorry for shouting at you. I'm sorry for doing this. It doesn't mean he will never do it again. He may do it again. But now he's exposed to himself. So our nature don't change. So as a parent, we need to do a lot. Note that, like I'm going to say it again, you are training your children spiritually. How well have you even prayed? Do you even know your bloodline? You yourself. Check. Go back and sit down.
You have to do assessment of
Go back and sit down. There are many things that your father went through you. You have even passed it. You've done most of them. So if your father had not taken note of them, he will find a way to be guiding you. You take it to be personal. Life is not personal. Look, I've done counsel for people.
So some parents don't also help their kids, so by talking to them about these things.
I've done counsel for people, and by the time you just sit them down to do some simple analysis about their family, you see that there are a lot in the family that even tells you this marriage will not stand if you don't take time or if you don't work at it well. Because also be all worrying, you'll be our not if you're no, I guess you're better than you're not better than them. Also be our as our one day. Also be your wedding one. You may think you're not. It's a barrier. That's why people say you must be a barrier crosser. You must work at yourself, build yourself, that so that you'll be able to cross this. But if not, also back actually.
So, unfortunately, our time is up. You always make the conversation interesting that it's difficult to even continue the conversations. So we're still going to continue the conversation though, but we have some few minutes to get to the wrap of the conversation. My question that I was going to ask you earlier was that you came in and you were like, so who is a better parent out of the man and the woman? Who should be a better parent in terms of, because we've established the fact that the man wasn't made for family life right from onset, and the woman is more of family. Yet when the man is unable to be that, be there for the kids or something like that, he say, hey, oh, my papa, then. Oftentimes it goes the opposite way too. The man is the one who is supporting the kids, helping them and all that. But the woman and I say, how do we match the two of being a better parent, both for the man and the woman? But the usual question I'm asking earlier is, who is a better parent? I
think the answer is simple. A better parent is not the one, it's just a leadership. It's not the one who thinks he can do everything by himself, but the one who understands the needs of his kids and also knows the right people can come in to help. Remember, as I said, that's what I say, no parent has the capacity to train their children alone. But who are you bringing into your children or your kids' life is so important. So your assessment of people, like I said, spiritually, so if you want to get a nanny or any family member to come and support, help you, you should know, have I done proper assessment of this person? Knowing the spiritual, yes, you can see so you can't bring somebody in who teaches your children the opposite of what you believe. Are you getting it? So a better parent is just like a better coach, the one who has the ability to select the right players. So that's the point. But another important thing we must also know in parenting, like I mentioned, I think I was just about to talk about it, is that the fundamental on this earth, in order to build yourself up to get to the highest level, the foundation is intelligence. The foundation. God created this world with intelligence, according to the Bible. So whatever you are doing to your children, ask yourself. So for instance, my child at her age, one thing I tell you, even to choose a man, the foundation, choose someone who is intelligent. How? There are 4 levels of intelligence. The IQ, somebody who has adequate knowledge, he knows what he's doing, he understands. So it's about marriage. How well does the person understand marriage? The next one is EQ, emotional quotient. How the person is able to manage the emotions. But more emotion, they want to be better. only the good food is here, baby ball. It means the EQ ever from. So who could you be went to the boy for yaka, EQ and evidence his EQ is down. So you must train your children to have IQ. That's what most parents are doing. You're taking our children to good schools to build their IQ. Yeah. But how well are you training them to have a better EQ? To team playing? How the so or be yet? Or you're so anti-so? No. Then you come to that what is SQ. How is a person able to work with people? Social quotient, your ability to interact with people who work. There are some people even at work. If you ask him his listening or he doesn't know. It means your SQ is down. Your ability to make friends, to choose the right people around you. And the last one is AQ, adversity quotient. How you're able to manage adversity. Look, in this world, whether you ask you said, or Nipa or Bao, no, we all face challenges in life. But those whose IQs are low are those small things made our small things, me mobile, like protocol. Yeah, mobile. It's an evidence your IQ is down. The same thing that happened to you that you want to create. Even better, a higher thing has happened to another person. He's still fighting on. For he believes life is a war. We fight. We don't run away. Are you getting it? So you must build your child on that level of intelligence and show that. So you must be assessing your children critically. Their intelligence, IQ, EQ, SQ, and AQ. If you're able to fund your children on this level, I tell you, the star, the moon, all cannot even contain your children.
At what point do you begin to realize the what do you call that thing? The traits, being a sanguine, being choleric.
If you know it well,
one has to read.
A baby who is even 6 months, I told the mother, your daughter is a sanguine. Oh. Melancholic. Ubi kwajina, won't say, or I say, penny pebi.
It's a media, no.
Akrano, we will say, well, that's so we were something. So if you understand the trait, you can just pick it. But you see, from time, don't forget, I said nature. So sometimes the environment can impact, but as they are growing up, you see that there are changes. Then we say, no, I feel more one line.
Okay, I have a WhatsApp message. It says, good morning. Please, God bless you for this important discussion. Is it good for your wife to intervene whenever you try to punish your children when he or she does something wrong that needs to be corrected to serve as a deterrent to others?
I think normally when I'm
bad cop, good cop.
Yeah, when I'm doing marriage teaching, one thing you should never do is to intervene or interrupt when you're your partner, whether your wife or your husband. But you see, it happens because of our temperament. You understand? As choleric is like actually find out from the child before you punish. As Malan can just boom, a phlegmatic don't even care. Leave the children. So depending on the temperament of your child, of your partner, they may intervene, but it's wrong. You know what you've done. You destroy your children. Yeah. Especially, so let me say this, and when I'm teaching about single parenting, one of the demons that you should don't ever be a single parent for your child. It's a demon. Wow. You destroy your children. That's what today.
You should look for a partner.
That's what today divorce is so, because we think it's just about me. Look, when I see you want to go to the world, the first thing I look at you are self-selfish. Because if you understand that marriage goes beyond you, now you have kids. You see, men, God designed men to learn through their eyes. So no matter what you tell your son about fatherhood, he can never understand fatherhood until he sees father. So he must see a father figure in his life to learn fatherhood.
Before I'm going to ask a follow-up question, but let me announce once again that the phone lines are still active in case you want to call and share your thoughts or comment. Like I have to raise them all alone. Bringing somebody in might disrupt their kind of way of life, sort of, because I don't know how the person is coming in with all that. So they want to live and continue. I have a similar case in my family. My big sister, after kids, you were like young, about 6, 7 or something, and she decided that she's not going to pay attention to them again. Fortunately for her, I can say one of them is a pastor. The other one, they're all married as we speak. They're in their early 30s. She managed to succeed with that. Maybe she had the help of some of us around the kids and all that. But in cases where you don't have the strength, don't feel like bringing somebody else in.
Do you remember the question you asked about who is a good parent?
Yes.
You asked, what did I say? You see, when you don't have the ability to identify the right person to come and say, bring somebody in, then you are not even a good parent yourself. You should have the ability, you understand, to identify who can complement you to do whatever you do. See, and let me say this. I said it, I'm going to say it. Men, the way from how God created us, we learn from our eyes. So it's not about what you are telling him, but it's about what he's looking at. So you can say anything or everything to your son, but he's not learning. That's so you be short. I don't know, when you know I'm totally different from you. So now the point is this, if you understand it, you should know that if I'm a woman, I always need a man. Assuming sometimes your husband can even die. But with this understanding, not necessarily even marrying, you need to submit these children to the authority of a man. Somebody who have the boldness and witness. Look, they need that for them. They need it. Never in your head or in your mind think I can raise children alone. You are not raising yourself. Okay. You are raising children. And they are different from you.
Sergeant, if I don't pick it, you come and beat us. Sergeant, I salute. Good morning.
Good morning, Chief. I'm watching the program live. Is your guest?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, you made mention of how do you call it, IQ. But in case you are with a woman and the woman always has issue, problem, she has been creating problems here and there, and I call it, looking at how the relationship is going. When one says it, I mean, it will not end well. Choose to, let's say, a divorce or quit. I mean, how does that become a low IQ?
All right, so let me come in. I'm letting down. I think I made this statement to somebody yesterday. You see, an average person believes that when it comes to marriage, he can solve it. That's why you are suffering. Do you know why no matter the money you have, when you build your house and it's leaking, you go and look for the carpenter. You don't climb it. The house is yours. Even your car, if you're not a mechanic, and the last time I came in, my car was giving problem, I call for a mechanic. I didn't say it's my car. But when it comes to marriage or relationships, like, it's me, no.
Because, Rev, we are told that MOB and Bower Warrior, BBSC, even so for and yet they be another corner chain. That kind of advice are given all the time.
So whatever advice that comes to you in life, I tell people, we can advise you, but always remember, the decision you take or you make, you are responsible for it. The effect also comes to you. To our ego, I want to worry ego. Our age, I want to worry age now. Our advice, our mama, but the decision was yours to make. So in this case, you understand the whole story. See, it has a lot of things. I would say, can you imagine you see me with my car at Diego? Why you so telling me crack up into shop with my car? Even if you don't say anything, hold on. Even if you don't say anything, you be like, Pastor, you are a normal. Because we don't take our car to shop. There are people who even take their marital issue to women or mothers of their own father who has divorced 20-30 years. The technique says, so to identification, your ability to identify the right person is because there are many who would rather take their issues to people where by the end of the day they are going for divorce. Just about a week ago, I had a counseling session to share camp for a couple. As far as I met, I told them, don't tell me anything about your husband. You two don't tell me anything about your wife. You know why? The wife was more or less like a melancholic. The husband was about sanguine choleric. I just identified. The melancholic are perfectionistic. To them, whatever happens between me should be with us. The moment you take her issues out, whatever you are saying will be used against you. Because they don't forget. That's why you can even be in a good mood. Whatever you said over there, her mood can shrink in a moment. So who do you know a melancholic? You rather destroy your marriage. You will not be happy. But she can never forget it. But so I told her, whatever your wife needs to know, let it come from me. Because I know her more than she knows herself. That's why some people can put a word there and I tell you, you are this, you are the end of. Now we have different. This one is not spiritual, this is psychological. Because I know you. There are things you are doing, you don't even know why you are. Most of the time you discuss some of these things. So you tell you, your bigger problem is that your sexuality, like as you have low self-esteem, and remember what to or break. Who no can he feels you are nagging because you are the one complaining. Because an average person who has low self-drive will always tell you what that you think about is sex, what they don't know why it says, and now because to them their energy is towards work. Because they have low self-drive, their energy is towards work. In terms of to know obey you the whole day. Everyone if you can know your back, obey the number few who will see them, everybody know because in their mind it's all about work. And when she's tired, she can't. Forgetting that she's also punishing you. So when I meet you, it's my duty to bring this out. Now I know. But when you bring it out, I will report to me. You are destroying your marriage. So the point I'm telling you, whenever you have marital issue, don't assume you can solve by yourself. And before you can't be part of a problem and still be a solution. And that's an average choleric or Basano. We say choleric, one call about 3 marriages. Because to them they think they know. Nobody can talk to them, they are only intelligent. So what to now another person about let's humble ourselves. When it comes to marriage, there are people God has blessed them with the wisdom, the intelligence. The same way when you are sick, you go to the hospital. Even when your doctor in, now you go to another doctor. So you can really be a pastor. And at times, most pastors come to some of us. Are you there to this? So my brother, don't just take a decision. You need to understand the situation. So perhaps you can call HST, pick my number, or you can maybe, all those watching, you can check my social media handles. Just send me a message. We can talk. I can just meet you and tell you some of the issues. We need to appreciate why the person does what he or she does. Sometimes we don't understand the situation.
Okay. We're almost rounding up, so please add your social media handles.
Okay, so the name is Apostle Thomas Kusi-Appiah on all social media handles from Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Yeah. I have a lot of videos on temperament and other things on YouTube. Okay. So the name is Apostle Thomas Kusi-Appiah. Let's meet there. I think on TikTok you can send a message, Facebook you can send a message. I'll respond to it. Yeah. And even with that Facebook, I have automatic response. Okay. So when you send, I think my number. So those of you want my number, just send me a message on Facebook. Apostle Thomas Kusi-Appiah. Look for Apostle Thomas Kusi-Appiah. I have two. So that with Apostle, I have my number. The moment you send message, the number will come. Excellent. So they can call me.
Awesome. Thank you. We're very grateful for this insightful conversations. It's always a great time when we have you here. We always love the kind of things you say, and even our viewers alike always appreciating the things that you say. We like it so much. And so what we've been talking about, raising kids as family, and it looks like we're even diverted into the law of the mind and all that, which has brought us another topic to treat in the coming week, that he will come through for us to do that. So we're going to do that also. But we have some birthday to do, which I will let you do, Rick. But I want to say good morning to Madam Patience Kwaku. She happens to be my mother-in-law. She's an avid viewer of HSTV. She loves watching Trinity, and she sent even a parcel to them for what she wants. She watch something that happened. So shout out to you. Her kids call her Adwa. Now, if you want to say thank you for the gift also, yeah, essentially. So you want to do the birthday real quick?
We don't. We
don't have a birthday?
Yes, we don't have birthday.
Okay, so. All right. So that will be all for today. God willing, we have been able to navigate all of the conversations that we had for today. And unfortunately, we said we're going to have an artist coming through, but we didn't get through to that. And we have to extend even the conversation with
I still have more questions, though, as concerned to the parenting, but we'll do that next week, hopefully.
Okay. The hero who is celebrating his birthday on Monday. Yeah. Happy birthday to you in advance. And happy birthday in advance to you also, Nyameche.